In a sunny, vibrant meadow, there lived a small ant colony that thrived in harmony. Every ant worked tirelessly to gather precious food during the spring and summer to survive the bitter cold of the upcoming winter. Each day, the colony operated like a well-oiled machine. The stronger ants ventured out to collect grains, fallen leaves, and fruits, while the smaller ones quickly carried everything back to their underground homes. Among them was Lila, the curious and energetic little ant. Though cheerful and full of life, she often felt a bit different from her fellow ants. It was a turning point she would never forget. Lila didn't understand why everyone was working so hard or worrying about the future. Working is so boring, she thought. I'd rather skip around the garden and explore the world. So instead of helping gather food, Lila spent her days dancing between flowers and splashing beside the stream. One day, the Ant Queen summoned the colony for an important announcement. It was a turning point she would never forget. "Our food reserves must be even greater than last year's," declared the Queen. "We all need to work faster and harder. Gather as much food as you can and store it quickly. Winter will be long and harsh. If we're not ready, we won't survive." The other ants dove into their work with energy and determination. But Lila, the curious and energetic little ant, thought differently. It was a turning point she would never forget. Weeks passed, and autumn slowly faded into the bitter winter. The air turned cold, and food became scarce in the garden. The Queen called the colony once more, urging them to complete the final tasks before the frost consumed everything. Though tired, the ants kept working in hope that their efforts would carry them safely through the cold season. It was a turning point she would never forget. Lila, the curious and energetic little ant, ran around frantically searching for something to collect, but the garden was now empty. The fruits were gone, and fallen leaves were no longer enough. She felt incredibly sad and deeply ashamed. The first day of bitter winter arrived with chilling winds, and snow blanketed the meadow. Lila curled up in her tiny hole, shivering with nothing warm to eat. It was a turning point she would never forget. She tried visiting her friends' homes to ask for food, but they were all busy enjoying the harvest. No one could help her, as each had worked hard for what they had. Desperate, Lila, the curious and energetic little ant, went to her mother. "Mom, do you have something for me to eat?" she asked, voice trembling. It was a turning point she would never forget. Lila, the curious and energetic little ant, was heartbroken. She finally understood that by ignoring the rules of the colony and thinking only of herself, she had caused her own hardship. "If only I had worked as hard as my friends," she thought tearfully, "I wouldn't be cold and hungry now." It was a turning point she would never forget. When spring finally returned, Lila, the curious and energetic little ant, was determined to change. She was no longer the disobedient little ant. By the time autumn came, she had worked tirelessly and even helped other ants. That winter, she was well prepared and proud. The colony thrived because of their shared effort. It was a turning point she would never forget. Now Lila, once the stubborn ant, had become a shining example for the colony. Her story became a treasured lesson passed down to younger generations. Today's effort is tomorrow's safety. It was a turning point she would never forget.